Mothers, fathers, two people that don't get enough appreciation.
Money, please.
Oh, no, there's no money.
But when it comes to Mother's Day and Father's Day, what's the one gift you can get them that's greater than the gift of life itself? Trick question, you can't. That's what grandkids are for. But to fill that void and try to delight them just the same, we're gonna go over my top gadget recommendations to bring a smile to any parent. It's 2019. Let's be inclusive. For this list, I'm trying to be reasonable with prices, and there are a variety of options to fit any budget. Starting with streaming sticks just got very interesting with the announcement of Apple TV+. This is Apple's new subscription streaming service coming this fall with a variety of original content. What's even more interesting than that is they have now expanded their Apple TV app to a number of smart TVs, the Amazon Fire Stick and the Roku Stick. No Chromecast though. Sorry, Google fans. For those of you that have parents with an older TV or non-smart TV, the Roku and the Amazon Fire Stick are a great way to get them started on some simple streaming services and get them to catch up on that show that you have been dying for them to see. They're roughly the same price, and neither are entirely perfect. From a hardware perspective, the Roku's Wi-Fi connectivity is on the outside of the stick, which supposedly gives you a better network connection. The remote has this really weird little tab at the bottom, not really sure what that's for, and it doesn't have a mute button. And if your TV is anything like my parents' TV, that Roku stick's not going to fit in the back. Too long. The same would be true of the Amazon Fire Stick, but it comes with a convenient extension dongle that makes it a non-issue. So check your TV beforehand. You can buy a separate HDMI extension if you really want the Roku. Amazon automates a lot and connects to your account for quick purchases and access to content. Also did a much better job of recognizing the specific TV and soundbar setup, which the Roku did not. The other nice thing about the Fire Stick is the Alexa integration, so if your parents have gone that route, it's a nice touch. And if you're connecting to a TV that supports Dolby Vision like an LG OLED TV, you'll probably want the Amazon Fire Stick since the Roku does not support Dolby Vision. But the Apple TV app is also coming to LG TVs, so if your parents have one of those, I'd move on to my next suggestion. I could make the argument, like so many other reviewers, that the Roku has the better interface. It does, but it doesn't really matter. Once you're using the Apple TV app on either stick, the distinction between whether the Roku interface or the Amazon interface is better is meaningless. So all things being equal on that front, I say go with the Amazon Fire Stick. Easier initial setup, better remote, support for Dolby Vision, done. Couple this with a subscription to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, CBS, and you got yourself a solid gift. Cooking healthy, tasty, interesting meals night after night for an entire family without getting a case of screw it, let's get pizza-itis, is an ongoing struggle for my parents when I was growing up. I mean, that's still a problem for me as a working adult, let alone supporting a bunch of kids. And that is why I researched a bunch of kitchen gadgets to figure out the best bang for your buck. I looked at air fryers, smokeless grills, sous vide immersion circulators. With sous vide, you have to use bags, preferably BPA free, or a vacuum sealer. Air fryers cost up to twice as much and only do a few foods well, but I hear they're really good for reheating pizza. Still not as good as a convection oven or a convection toaster oven. And smokeless grills take up a lot of space, aren't entirely smokeless, and are expensive. We're talking like up to $300 for the Philips smokeless grill. My other criteria for kitchen gadgets is to avoid getting something that's ultimately going to end up collecting dust on a shelf somewhere. Don't get me wrong, I'd still like to review all that stuff in the future, but nothing seems to beat the versatility and capacity of the Instant Pot pressure cooker. The Instant Pot does a lot, both in terms of the variety of foods that it can cook and the amount. We're talking eggs, meat, rice, beans, stew, yogurt, cake, something I probably haven't even discovered yet. You can take recipes that you normally do in a slow cooker and do them in a fraction of the time. Also, it slays spaghetti squash. Takes 10 minutes, just saying. That also makes it great for meal prep. If your parent is somebody that's constantly on the go or just wants to start eating a lot more homemade meals with consistency, the largest size Instant Pot will hold up to 8 quarts of food. That's a lot of food. The model I'm showing here is the 8-quart Instant Pot Ultra, which is a little more on the expensive side at $179.95. Instant Pot makes a wide variety of models, starting as low as $60 for the 3-quart Instant Pot Luxe. The Luxe doesn't include modes for things like cooking beans or yogurt, but if you understand the basics of pressure cooking, you can do the same thing. And for most people, entry level is fine. It's really the size that matters most. Another great gift, smart speaker. You ever get a piece of technology and you're not quite sure how it's going to affect your life until you have it? That's how I felt about my Amazon Echo Dot and my Google Home when I first got them. Fun gimmick, not a game changer. That is, until one day I found myself saying, "Hey Google, what's the weather?" And I wasn't at home. It's subtle. And the exact same thing happened when I got it from my parents. Now it's all, "Alexa, what's the weather? Alexa, when did this movie come out? Alexa, what does this word mean?"
Alessandra, turn the heat up.
The room is already 100 degrees.
Are you trying to kill me, Alize?
It's even more fun when their grandkids come over. Not mine, though. Ladies. Especially fun when they're constantly saying things like, "Alexa, turn off the lights." Avoid the Apple HomePod, though. Just not worth the price. You can check out my review above. With the Amazon Echo Dot and the Google Home Mini, you're looking at $50, so not terrible. You can go from there and get more of a speaker like the Amazon Echo or the Google Home or the Google Home Max if you're wanting to go crazy, or your parents already have some of these speakers throughout the house and they just want something different. If you're just starting your parents off in the voice bandwagon, or they already have some smart speakers, the next best thing that you can do is help them start on their home automation journey. And there is no better entry point than lighting. This is, hands down, the most used feature by my parents. And me. The Philips Hue is still the most widely regarded smart bulb system, and I've seen prices go as low as $100 for the 3rd generation starter kit. The possibilities are endless, from mood lighting to entertainment lighting to outdoor lighting. I've had friends set really weird colors to their outdoor lights so people could easily find their home. They can set reading lights, turn on lights to make sure that they don't trip over anything at night, or set them to sleep routines, using them as a gentle alarm clock to slowly get brighter and brighter to help wake them up in the morning without having to hear the of your alarm clock. Or at nighttime, set the hue to something a little bit more yellow, a little bit more dim, makes it easier to fall asleep. And again, great for the grandkids. And what's good for the grandkids is good for the grandparents. See where I'm going with this? You know, I'm not a parent, but I've weirdly had a lot of parents tell me that you don't understand the value of sleep until you have kids. So help your parents get more sleep. Alright, that's enough of that. This one's a little on the expensive side, but hear me out. The Apple Watch is generally a great product for most people, and you can check out my original review for more info there. Maybe your parents are getting a little bit older, maybe they have heart problems or are at risk for falling, both leading causes of death worldwide. That got morbid. Or for the more active parent, the cellular edition of the watch goes great with a pair of Bluetooth 5 headphones for listening to music during exercise or taking phone calls on the go. Basically, it makes you feel more comfortable untethering yourself from your phone. And isn't that something we could all use a little more of? These days, it even supports Spotify and Pandora and a few podcast apps, which it didn't in my original review, so it's getting better. Still waiting for that YouTube music app, though. Apple, Google, we're all adults here. We can be friends, right? Checking out with Apple Pay on the Apple Watch now that it's Target and a bunch of other major retailers and restaurants is a magical experience. Just word of caution, help them turn off as many notifications as possible, or your nice family dinner is going to become a nice family dinner of, I'm sorry, what were you talking about? Put the phone away, Dad. Those are my gift gadget recommendations for Mother's Day and Father's Day. Thumbs up if this gave you some good ideas. I'd love to hear your suggestions in the comments below, because obviously at this point, nothing is a surprise to my parents. But I suppose I could always do what most people do and just take them out to dinner. Either way, treasure your parents while you have them, and I'll see you in the next video.